We can edit. Hello, lovely Ilse. How lovely to meet you. And I would like to introduce all your audience to you today. Now, you've put together a lovely, very interesting retreat on rewilding. Would you like to tell me a little bit more about why rewilding and what this means for you?
Well, I'm living in Pringle Bay and I've actually moved here from Stellenbosch. Pringle Bay is like a little village that still have a lot of nature. But even with nature, there's people and people can get into conflict with each other. So recently we started a rewilding group because there were actually um, two camps of people, those that love the baboons and those that hate the baboons. So those that didn't like the baboons, they have monitors with paintball guns to keep the baboons out of our little village. And then the other people love the baboons and they just want to give them a freeway so that they can forage and eat and whatever. And then when I looked, it was basically for the fauna and flora. I realized that nature is so good, it can revive by itself. It doesn't need people to be in charge of what's happening. Like last year with the lockdown in the very first month where almost the whole world was in lockdown, nature just came back and we had a leopard on our beach. So the leopards are in the mountains around Pringle Bay. We just don't see them if people are always on the street and around. So the rewilding was really about seeing that people actually need to be rewilded and come back to our true essence and live from our hearts with compassion and love and see the beauty of everything in creation and also see the beauty of every creature's part in this whole ecosystem. So if people step back and we focus on ourselves and open our hearts and learn how to live from a compassionate heart, there will be space for every creature in the universe, and we don't have to like bully them from the top in the way that we think is appropriate. And the whole rewilding retreat is about that. And I've got very nice speakers speaking about different aspects of rewilding. And everyone comes from a different angle, which is really very nice. Thank you.
That sounds so exciting. I actually can't wait to hear all about it. Now, a little bit about your background. You have the skills to help people to get in contact with their hearts. Is that correct?
Yes, I've done a whole teaching or course around creation codes. So that is based on a very ancient Atlantean method, or I don't know if you call it a method, a system that's based on the 22 fire letters of the Hebrew alphabet. So in the way that your name is on your birth certificate, you use like a calculator and that throws out your soul blueprint, which is connected to what you actually came to do in this lifetime. So there's so many things that we can learn and do, but this is very specific to our choice and what we want to do. If I can explain it a bit better, the whole system is built on a six-pointed star, the six-pointed star of David. And you get a triangle that shows downward, and you get an upward-facing triangle. So basically, for the first 35 years of your life, you work on the codes that's embedded in the downward-facing spiral. They call it the physical reality. And between 35 and 42, there's like a transition period where you change into your spiritual triangle, which is the upward facing one. And that's when you get more mature and really begin to be of service in the world. The first triangle is really about learning lessons and about releasing old stuff that you've carried with you and coming into more of your divine power. And in the six-pointed star, you have challenge numbers. So there's a physical challenge number and a spiritual challenge number. And that is basically connected to issues that is either in your family ancestral lines that you want to come and sort out and that you have a lot of problems with. It could also be if you believe in past lives, past life issues that you've kept on repeating and where you can't get the lesson. So in this lifetime, you really made an effort that this is the thing that you want to deal with or want to work out. Then you also have two talent or gift numbers. And those numbers are the numbers that are actually the stuff that you've already learned and embodied. And perhaps in your ancestral line, in your parents, you see the example of them doing that with ease. So it will be easy for you to activate those numbers and have it in your toolkit as something to help you on your journey. And then you also have two gold numbers, and the gold numbers are also still in challenge until you activate them. And the goals is just new goals that you set for this lifetime, stuff that you want to embody and that you want to learn. And then right in the center is the destiny number. So all the numbers in the circle around the center number is actually helping you and guiding you towards the center number, because that is the thing that you really want to embody and work with in this lifetime. And that is your gift that you want to give to the earth and be in service to humanity if you can activate that number. And if you really look at the numbers, they are amazingly set up to guide you so that you in the end can embody that center number. Well, in my life, it really is like that.
And how do you feel that it would help people to actually have their or their numbers read or their forecasts done?
I think I can speak for myself. I was really floating around in life and I didn't know it, even though I did a lot of spiritual courses. I didn't have proper direction. I did stuff here and did stuff there and tried to do this and try to make a difference here. But since I've done my soul blueprint, it's really that my life got direction. And even though I'm now over 60, it feels like most of my peers are thinking of retiring plans and what they are going to do for retirement. And for me, it's like, okay, eventually I'm starting to know what I want to do when I grow up. It feels like I'm now starting to grow up and I can actually step into something that is worthwhile and a legacy that I can leave for the earth. So my soul blueprint really helped me to find direction and to have purpose in life and stand up in the morning with joy. And yeah, I can't wait to do what I am supposed to do. And it's lovely to see if I do a blueprint reading for someone else, how they lighten up and how they really resonate with their numbers and can see, wow, this is the plan for my life. And then you can really take action. And if I've done it at 35, I think I could have much easier or earlier started something that I really enjoy. And it's not, life really takes you to that point. And sometimes you miss the opportunity, but it comes around again and again and again until you get it. So if you don't do a reading, it's not everything is lost. It's just, it might take you longer and you might miss opportunities, but having your soul blueprint plan, it makes you really focused on who you are and where you want to go. I can perhaps name an example. In my spiritual challenge position, I've got the number 17, which is about the divine mouth, speaking your truth. And I think I had a lot of blockages around speaking my truth. And my truth is mostly very much different from everyone else's, which made it that I actually withdrew much more and didn't bring it out on the table, because I think in my ancestral line or in my past lives, there was many lives that the throat was cut off or it was not safe to speak and say what you want to say. Now, for me to really activate that number is to come out and speak on huge platforms and share my story and be truthful to what I think. And since I've done the Soul Blueprint thing, it's much more easier, but I had to do a lot of inner work so that when I speak, it comes from my heart. Sometimes I can like do it from another place, which is not very the rebel or whatever comes out. So my life actually really helped me to integrate a lot of the pain and the issues that I had, so that now when I speak the truth, and even if it's different from other people, I can speak it from a more heart-centered place. It's not always that way, but I'm much more aware of doing that in a loving, compassionate way. Yeah, and so
And
everyone has got a
when,
different number and different
Mhm.
lessons to learn, and it's amazing.
And I would really think this organizing this retreat has been supported by your need to speak out and to speak your truth, because you are directing or giving directions or facilitating help on a different level.
Yes, it really is. And that is also what is asked of people when they get their soul blueprint. It's not just, okay, now I know my numbers and click, click, it all falls in place. Now you can see what is your blockages, and then you have to take aligned action to actually activate the numbers so that they really become who you are. Yeah, and you can get guidance when you do your soul blueprint reading on what you can do to activate your numbers. But it's still, it's not just law, and now it's going to happen. You have to take aligned action to get it activated.
So just thinking a little bit more now, there seem to be two phases to the reading. So would you like to explain a bit more about that?
Yeah, the first part is the physical part, which is basically in your younger life. The first 35 to 42 years of your life, when you really work and you get challenges around that numbers to get them activated. And you need that numbers when you get older. If you really want to activate your soul blueprint, you have to activate all numbers in your blueprint. So the first 35 years, you basically work on the physical triangle, and you always lead from your goal or your gifts or your talents. So that is numbers that can easily be activated, because it's sort of, it is in your DNA, and it is easy because you had lots of experiences around that, or you will incarnate into a family that already have that incarnated, and then you can just live by the example of how they do it, and it's much easier to absorb it that way as well. And then the second part is when you're older and you really get more into a higher frequency, a higher vibration, then you step over and there's a transition into the spiritual realm around. And I think a lot of people here around 40, you go into the spiritual realm. A lot of mothers, their children start to leave the house and they can more focus on themselves. And so life take you into that direction naturally, in a way.
So then if one has a reading, the reading comes in two parts, does it? So you have the initial reading, and then you can delve further into the blueprint reading.
Yeah, mostly I do readings with the spiritual and the physical aspect at once. But you can also go into your new name. So a lot of women actually change their surnames when they get married. So that become an overlay name, and the letters in that name also has an influence on your life and your life story. I can see for myself in my own life, I had a certain blueprint, which is my birth name, and that's written on your birth certificate. And that vibration is 80% of your reality that you have to embody in this lifetime. And every time you change your name, like Ariella said, if you change your name, you change your game. So new numbers come and can be activated, and that actually change some of your reality. Like I had the number 8, in my physical goals. But in my birth name, I've got a lot of ethereal numbers, numbers that's not grounded in this reality, like really airy-fairy numbers, like the 5s and the 10s and whatever. So they haven't got a physical reality. So when I was younger, I was always in dreamland and my head was up in the clouds and I wasn't grounded in this reality. But then when I married, the number 8 moved to my soul destiny. So that's a number that I have to embody. And my surname that I took on after I got married actually brought in that vibration. And I had a husband that took me on trips around the mountain. We climbed up mountains. We went on bicycle trips. We rode down rivers. And he was always busy with something, some activity, flying kites and running up and down the beach with kites. And I just wanted to sit and watch the stars. But in a way, it really helped me to ground that number 8 in my reality. And now I take people into nature, and I did the Camino in Spain. And so he really helped me to embody that number 8. So sometimes if you struggle with a number, you can change your name by yourself or by getting married and you change your name. That can help. And that's like an overlay. And in most of the cases, it's helpful to embody your destiny number. Sometimes it is good to go to someone to read your names if you want to change your names, because they can actually help you to say, it's better to keep your maiden name, or this is the gifts that you will find if you change it. Like if the challenge numbers is the same in your birth name and your overlay name, it's going to make your challenges much more difficult. And then it's better to steer away from that. So if you've got a challenge number and you can have an overlay name that's got that challenge number in a gift position, that will actually help you to embody or to activate the challenge number. So I was in the beginning not very into name changing. I thought, no, this is who I am. But I think that's also part of my throat thing. And now speaking, I've got a new name, and what judgment and whatever will come around that. But I can really see people that change their names and then change it with the right numbers. It can really help you to embody what you've come to do.
I just think that's so exciting and so amazing. And this is what you, sorry, excuse me, offer for people. Is this correct?
Yes, I do one-on-one soul blueprint readings. And that I do in there's 2 options that you can do that. The one is a full soul blueprint reading, which is 40 minutes to an hour, where we really go into your soul blueprint and all the numbers. And then the other one is just the short, and in your overlay names as well. And the other one is just the short readings so that you can see, does it resonate with me? What is your numbers, and what does every number in every position mean? And then I also have another program, which is a 6-week course where we really go deep into every number. There's activations that take place. There is work that you can do to really uncover the layers so that you can activate the numbers and can move on more quickly. So that's a 6-week process where you work only at one-on-one on internet or on Zoom, and you make a recording and you can re-listen to it, and then you also get tasks to do to help you to activate the numbers. And that are also doing 2 options. The one is a crash course where you do 6 consecutive weeks, and the other one is where you do 2 a month, and you can pay monthly, and then also just do 2 sessions per month. So you move a bit slower, and then you have more time to work on each aspect of your coding.
And to really integrate with the information that you have as well. That just, it just sounds very exciting, and that's just so informative. And I mean, do you really feel that understanding your numbers has led you to do this retreat?
Yes, I can really see how it changed my own life, and it's very empowering. But I also do think that all the spiritual work that I've done before and all the clearing work that I've done, I'm on the spiritual part since I was 42 exactly. I'm a slow starter, so I do everything at the end of the, the term. Um, so that really helped. I could really not see where am I going with all this work that I've done. But now since did the coding, it's like everything falls in place. I can understand things much better. But I am a slow learner, so other people might do it much more quicker than I did it. But I do feel I have it embodied and I understand it and I can help people with their numbers as well.
Well, that's just absolutely amazing. And I'm really, really looking forward to listening to your speakers and finding out more about rewilding.
Cool. And thank you for doing this with me. It was lovely.
Thank you very much.